For years, the world's most profitable tech companies have operated in total isolation. You buy an iPhone, and you are locked into Apple's software. You buy an Xbox game, and that single purchase lives exclusively on that console. That comfortable isolation is now effectively over. The European Union has just served Apple with a strict 6-month deadline to open up its closely guarded ecosystem. To comply, Apple has to surrender control over its most proprietary features. They must allow third-party developers direct access to AirDrop file transfers, AirPlay streaming, and the core notification management system. The EU's requirements act as a catalyst, initiating a breakdown of the barriers that have historically separated these major platforms. The strategy of trapping a consumer inside a single brand ecosystem is no longer viable, and an aggressive, industry-wide restructuring is already underway. Apple's massive profit margins depend directly on keeping its hardware and software perfectly intertwined. If you want the seamless software experience, you have to buy the physical hardware to match. The Digital Markets Act is tearing that exclusivity apart. By forcing Apple to share tools like Continuity Camera with outside developers, the legislation severs that link. If rivals like Samsung and LG integrate AirPlay into their televisions, the incentive for buying an Apple TV disappears. What competitors spent decades trying to accomplish through product development, regulation achieved with a single mandate. For the first time, the core mechanics of the walled garden are overridden by external law. While regulators dismantle these software monopolies from the outside, tech giants are simultaneously tearing down their own historical business models from the inside. The most obvious casualty is the one-time purchase video game. We can see this internal pivot clearly in Microsoft's latest revenue data, which completely reordered the Xbox Studio hierarchy following the Activision acquisition. This chart shows the stark contrast in annual earnings. Live service powerhouse Blizzard is now at the top, generating $2.8 billion. That completely dwarfs legacy studios building single-purchase titles. Blizzard generates that capital because it relies on continuous, recurring revenue through subscriptions and battle passes. This reliance on perpetual monetization actively dictates hardware decisions. Mojang just announced that their fully ray-traced next-generation upgrade of Minecraft for the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 will be completely free for existing owners. Mojang is voluntarily giving up millions of dollars in potential software sales to guarantee their massive player base seamlessly migrates to the new console without leaving the marketplace. Keeping a user actively engaged inside a monetized ecosystem is mathematically worth far more than charging them $60 for a new disc. Because software ecosystems are no longer guaranteed to hold users captive, tech manufacturers are rushing to secure hardware dominance by rapidly accelerating their production pipelines. Apple is placing a massive bet to maintain its grip on the mobile market. They've just broken their own historical records for component orders in anticipation of the iPhone 17, banking entirely on high sales numbers. Google is already attempting to undercut that launch. Breaking their standard timeline, they've confirmed the Pixel 11 event incredibly early for October 2026, heavily promoting a new line of advanced health sensors to draw users away from iOS. In the gaming space, Nintendo is resorting to extreme logistics to ensure they don't lose their hardware momentum to physical disasters. After an earthquake damaged 4 critical supplier factories in Japan's Noto region, Nintendo immediately bypassed them. They deployed engineering teams and secured alternative suppliers to guarantee their NVIDIA-powered Switch 2 hits its strict March 2027 deadline. Manufacturers coordinate launch cycles as high-stakes responses to a market where enforced brand loyalty is disappearing. Looking ahead to 2027, the baseline rules of the industry have shifted. The model of buying a device and living entirely isolated within one company's software is dead. We are watching 3 separate pressures converge: European legislation forcing platforms to share their proprietary tools, gaming giants prioritizing endless recurring revenue, and hardware manufacturers fighting aggressively for your attention. Under these new rules, third-party developers gain the access needed to build AirDrop-style functionality that works between iPhones and Android devices. It also means companies have to continuously earn your time. That results in free next-generation graphical upgrades to keep you playing, and aggressive pricing strategies from hardware makers desperate to secure your initial purchase. Dismantling the tech silo is a massive financial loss for the corporations that built them, but for consumers, breaking the monopoly means gaining access to a highly competitive market where your devices finally work together.